We are here to turn Friday into Erev Shabbos. It is not Friday. It is not Stam a Friday. It is Zos Hanukkah, the 8th and last day of Hanukkah. It's Erev Shabbos Kodesh. Hopefully a Shabbos that brings with it great rest, great prosperity, great bracha, great peace, great success, great triumph, and great news. Turn Friday into Erev Shabbos is generously sponsored by Mending Tzivora Fishman as a schus v'chai Rivka Bas Tzipora Friedel in memory of Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Rav Yaakov Tzvi ben David Aryeh. Today's Turn Friday into Erev Shabbos is also sponsored by Yanina and Gordon Haas in memory of Yanina's mother, Ida Lechman, Yechaya Bas Simcha, whose yurtzeit is the Shabbos from the Shama should have an aliyah. The main thing is to not be afraid at all. Here we are on the 8th day of Hanukkah. We are the end. We lit the last candles last night. Our menorah was full, was brightest, and it was shedding and sharing the most light. And here we are now, Erev Shabbos. Is a little bit of a letdown. Whereas last Friday we had to coordinate and organize enough time. Hurry, everybody be ready. We got to light the Hanukkah candles, get to shul in time, light the Shabbos candles. Hanukkah's over. It's the end. Only it's not. Hanukkah ending on a Friday is an unusual opportunity. It's an opportunity for letting us touch the one light with a new light. The Hanukkah licht, the Hanukkah light might be ending, but it goes right into lighting the Shabbos candles. We conclude the eight nights, the menorah of the 8 branches, the 8 bright lights, but they didn't go out. We have to make sure that one lights the next. And the Hanukkah, it goes right into, it leads right into, it connects and kisses right with Shabbos, with the 2 candles of Shabbos, Shama v'Zachar, the 2 candles of Shalom Bayis, with the candles of Shabbos, the hope to illuminate our homes and our communities, our lives and the world with the light of Shabbos that we so desperately long for, we so desperately want, a light that brings home the hostages, a light that sees the soldiers going home to their families, a light that sees a sweeping success, triumph, and victory, a light that is the light of Mashiach and the light of peace that we so badly want. So I want to share with us today, as we're turning this Friday of Hanukkah, into Erev Shabbos, a Shabbos that is Ois Hanukkah, that's after Hanukkah, but candles of Hanukkah leading into the candles of Shabbos. I want to share with you a fascinating insight. The Gemara in Shabbos Daf Chav Gimel tells us, "Haragel b'ner havil labanim tamidei chacham." Rav Huna teaches, one who is ragel b'ner, one who habituates themselves with candles, will have sons, children who are scholars, children who are righteous, children who give them tremendous nachas. And the Gemara lists several other things. Hazar b'mezuzah, if you're careful with mezuzah, if you're careful with tzitzis, if you're careful with kiddush hayom. But if you're careful with candles, and what do you have to be careful about? The quality, the expense of those candles, how bright they burn? No. Haragil b'ner. Habituate with lighting candles. Which candles are we talking about? There's a machlokas. Is it Shabbos candles? Is it Hanukkah candles? For our purpose, we'll talk about both. Maharsha, Rishmul Idels is bothered. Ask the Maharsha, B'chol ein cha'amar lashon hizir. When it comes to mezuzah talis kiddush, it just says be careful. And here it says haragil. It doesn't say be careful. Hazar, one who is careful. It says haragil, one who accustoms himself. Why does it have to employ a different word? When it comes to the other positive practices, it says hazahir, one who is careful, and yet here it says haragil, one who habituates himself. And the Mahasha answers, because we're talking about a man. The Gemara is directing these words towards the man, and the man is careful with mezuzah, the man is careful with tzitzis, the man is careful with sanctifying Shabbos, saying kiddush on Shabbos, but the candle he might think is delegated to his wife, to the woman. Therefore, he's not as careful with it. Therefore, the Gemara Chazal say haragil. But the Heilige Sachat Shavar Rebbe, Rav Shmuel Borenstein, the great Sachat Shavar, the great Shem Mishmuel, has a different interpretation and offers a different answer to this very question of the Maharsha, and in it inspires us how to turn this Friday into Erev Shabbos, how to elevate our Shabbos, how to let those candles of Hanukkah and the candles of Shabbos continue to burn and burn bright regularly in our lives. And he says the following: Lama b'ner amru haragil, and the others it says zahir. Yesh lamar shalach orat sarach lavin lashon haragil mashma she'asa mitoch hahergel. Ragil means somebody who does something out of habituation, pattern, practice, mindlessly, simply doing something out of habit. V'areya osa mitoch hahergel is a maguna, and anyone who does anything out of habit, that is very negative. When people are creatures of habit, when we're absent present, when we're simply doing things because we're pre-programmed to mindlessly do them, we're not present. We're not really experiencing. We're not really elevating. We're not really engaging. That is something which is negative, something that we're critical of. When a person does something, mitzvah anasha milamuda, a person does something just out of practice, just out of habit, just on autopilot. Think in your marriage, think with parents, think with any activity of life. When you're on autopilot, you're not engaged, you're not present. There isn't the richness of life and living, there isn't the richness of a relationship. What was the whole methodology of our enemies? Was to take away the panemius, take away the depth and the meaning and the purpose and the mindfulness, and get us to become robots, creatures of habit, just automated beings who are doing things in an automated way. Because the moment that we're automated, the moment that we're a robot, the moment that we're mindless, it's over. If you're mindless, then you're davening. What's your davening worth if you're not actually present when you're saying those words? You're mindlessly saying them. What's your marriage worth if you're not present when you're supposed to be spending time? You're simply distracted on your technology. You're on autopilot of life. How is your parenting if you're pushing the swing while you're looking at your phone? If the Yetzer Hara, or in this case the Yevanim, our enemies, our adversaries, could get us to disengage and disconnect and become mindless, robotic, habituated beings, then they've won the war. Then we're no longer plugged into what it means we're supposed to be doing in the most virtuous and elevated way. So therefore, what's the response? What's the antidote? Haragil, the answer and the antidote to haragil, to hergel, to habituation is bener. Be on fire. That spark, turn it into a raging flame. Be on fire. Be on fire. The warmth, the illumination, the light. The answer, the antidote to hergel, to habituation and habit is ner. That the flame is flickering upwards. It's going and aiming higher, that it wants more, that it's not satisfied with what is. Ulefizi Yesh Lomar, says the Sachachav, says the Shem Yishmuel. Shagam Ladora Zeu Anyin Shal Ner Chanukah Lehem Shechach Hashem Yisbarach Kilahav Eish Ola Lemala B'Chorega B'Chias Chadasha Lo His Yashnas V'Lo His Karis. Never become cold. Never be disconnected. Never be ice cold. Be on fire. Be inspired and dynamic and passionate. Have your energy and enthusiasm be contagious. Haragil b'ner. The answer to hergel, to being an automated robotic being, is ner. His chadshus, newness and freshness and fire and spark. V'gam ner shel Shabbos, says the Sachat Shavar. Whether you're talking about Hanukkah, which we're ending today, Zos Hanukkah, or you're talking about Shabbos, which we begin tonight, one candle lighting into the next. Ner shel Shabbos, yesh lomar haynu hach. Im toshev mishabbos raglecha, says the Sachat Shavar, haperish haregel shelcha, hergel shelcha, shelo yasa mashu atzad hergel mitzvos anashim milimuda, rak b'chias chadashu v'eslavos. What's new? What new zemer? What new dvar Torah? What new minag? What new Shabbos garment? What new Shabbos practice? What new Shabbos custom? What new Shabbos sefer? What new Shabbos miros? What will you introduce that's new? Haperish haragel b'ner hanishia ragel b'inyan is chadshus. Haragel b'ner, ner is spark, light, fire. The only hergel that should be in your life, the only pattern that you should have, the only habit you should have is the habit of not having habits. The only habit is the habit of newness and the habit of freshness and being in the habit of not being a creature of habit. Be in the habit of not being a creature of habit. V'lo davka lefamim yisor b'eslavos el yeragel kain. Says the Sachat Shavar. Now we understand the promise of the Gemara. Haragil b'ner. If the only habit you have is to not have no habits in life, you'll have children who are on fire. If you could be a spark, if you could be a raging flame, then you'll be able to kindle the wick of your children. You'll light them on fire. They'll be aglow. They'll spark. They'll ignite. Haragil b'ner. If you never give in to habit, you're never a robot, you're never automated, you don't go into, it's just another Shabbos. Same davening, same Shabbos clothing, same Shabbos table, same Shabbos menu, same Shabbos miros, disconnected. Habit, habit, habit. The only habit is to have no habit. And if your children see, haragil b'ner, if your habit is to have no habits, if you're mindful to never be mindless, then you'll have children who are Talmidei Chachamim, children who are sparks in their own right, children who will be on fire. So the way we turn this Friday of Zos Chanukah into Erev Shabbos, is to light the Shabbos candles with the Hanukkah candles, to go from one into the other, to end Hanukkah and begin Shabbos, and begin both. The bridge, the common denominator of the two, is to be haragel b'ner, to be on fire. How will you be on fire? Don't go ice cold. Don't disconnect. Don't go back to who you were. Hanukkah should leave you transformed and changed forever. And to bring that attitude into a Shabbos, should be zocha to have a Shabbos of mindfulness. Should be a Shabbos filled with sparks and light and mindfulness. Va'ikar lo lefachid klal. With all going on in our worlds, don't be afraid. Don't fall into habit. Even the Tehillim that we're saying, the things we're doing for Eretz Yisrael, don't ever grow to a point of doing it out of habit. Should have besoros tovos. Should be a Shabbos in milizok. Refuah ugru'ula krova lavo.